if you're not using credit cards for your e-commerce business or any other business that you need to spend money on, then you're essentially paying 2% extra per year in taxes. And what I mean by this is essentially using and leveraging the power of credit cards, you can essentially make more money and at the same time lower your risk. And how do you exactly lower your risk with credit cards, you may ask? Isn't credit cards risky? You're borrowing money, you could go into debt. Well, the truth is that I'm currently 18, and in just 9 months time, I managed to get myself 6 credit cards and over 20 debit cards to use for my business. Now, obviously all those debit cards aren't really necessary. It's mainly to try them out for YouTube videos and whatnot. But regardless, the credit cards and some debit cards are a major part of my business and how I run my business to this date. And I'm going to be teaching you how you can leverage credit cards and or debit cards to maximize points, rewards, and other factors to essentially travel the world for free, make more money, or lower your risk in general by borrowing money and not using debit. Now, if you run a business like a dropshipping business, like what this channel is mainly about, then you already know that dropshipping businesses require a ton of spending. There are marketing costs, which is usually Facebook ads, Google ads, Snapchat, TikTok ads. There are a ton of advertising platforms. Whatever you choose, you're gonna spend money regardless. The other costs include product costs. This is what the merchandise costs to ship to your customer. This cost you can definitely not neglect, because when you're dropshipping, you definitely need to be actually shipping the product to the customer. Next, you're gonna have employees. This is usually virtual assistants. Now, if you need help hiring virtual assistants, I made an excellent video on how you can scale to 10K plus per day using virtual assistants in your Shopify dropshipping store. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check out that video, or just go back a few videos whenever you're watching this, and you should find it there. Next is software costs. When you're running a Shopify dropshipping store, there are definitely software costs like a Shopify plan, which is starting at $29, and there are a lot of other apps that I recommend you use, like Luke's Reviews, KeepCart, and many other apps like Oberlo, and even apps that help track your profits like Pure Profit. There are a lot of apps that make your life a lot more convenient, but the costs do add up. So right about now, I'm averaging like $100 in monthly cost in terms of apps in my Shopify store. So it does add up very, very fast. So do plan to spend money on marketing costs, product costs, employees, and many other factors as well that I just covered. The big advantage of having a dropshipping business is the spend. You're going to spend a ton of money, and this money you're going to spend anyway, so might as well put it through a credit card. Now, I have a selection of credit cards here. I have about 6. There's actually one more coming, surprisingly. Actually not a surprise, because my addiction has got me this far not into debt. So with that being said, why should you use a credit card? Now, the biggest reason why you should use a credit card for your dropshipping business or any other business is rewards. If you're gonna purchase something like a product for your dropshipping business to ship to the customer, you're gonna purchase that anyways. If you're gonna purchase it via debit card, then most debit cards are gonna have 0% rewards. If they have rewards, then I did actually make a video on the top debit cards to use, which really maxes out at around 1.25%. And then there are actually a few other debit cards I can show you that I use. These are the 3 rewards debit cards that I use for my dropshipping business. This is the Crypto.com card, this is the Coinbase card, and then we have the Fold Plus card. These are all rewards card, all earning crypto. Now, if you're new to crypto or if you don't even know what crypto is, then that is completely fine. Then ignore these 3 cards for my recommendations for debit cards for your business. So those are the debit cards that you should definitely use. Now onto credit cards. Now, before we go into credit cards, we need to determine what you're after. For most debit cards, they're going to be usually cash back or some sort of reward to get you money back. Now, that is fine for most people, and that's actually what I use and recommend. But for some people that do want to travel, then feel free to look for a alternative. The cards that I am currently using are all cash back. And the reason why I chose cash back over something like points, rewards, and travel is because cashback gives you directly money back. This is essentially getting you 2% or 1% back on your total cost. So let's say you spend $100,000 a year, which is relatively low inside the dropshipping space, especially if you know what you're doing. 1% of 100,000 is around $1,000, right? So you're gonna get $1,000 extra in income per year just by using a 1% credit card. And some of the 1% credit cards that I could recommend you guys use is the Apple Card, which is only 1% when you enter in the numbers. I can show you the back. There's actually no numbers. So the Apple Card earns 1% back in terms of when you're using the Apple Card at checkout. Now, this card does actually earn 2% when you use Apple Pay, but limited suppliers and vendors actually support Apple Pay. So for the most part, I'm actually usually only getting 1% via the Apple Card, which is not the greatest, but there's also other 1% cards like the Tomo card, which I did a review many months ago, which is a excellent credit card to start out with if you have absolutely no credit. And another good option is the Discover It card. Now, the Discover It card actually is around 2% for the first year, but after that it is going to be 1%. So we're going to count this as 1% for now. But realistically, if you're going to use this, use it for the first year. Try and max out the credit every single time and get the double rewards from the Discover It card. Now, this card usually doesn't give you a big credit limit, which is a big problem when you're using personal cards with your dropshipping store. Now, why would I not use business credit cards? The reason is when your business is new and when you're especially very young and you are first exposed to credit, you're gonna have a hard time getting access to these credit cards. So the very first card I ever got was the Capital One Platinum. Now this card on top of the Fidelity card right here is the very first card that I got, and the reason is because I kept getting rejected for the Discover It card. Now this Discover It card I actually did not apply for. This is a card that I'm an authorized user of to build with my credit history at the beginning. Now I don't really mind if I'm added or not, but it did help in the beginning to get access to many other cards like the Tomo card, Apple Card. And what actually is my go-to credit card now is actually the Fidelity card. Now the reason why I use the Fidelity card is it's very simple to use, 2% back cash back. 2 is because it can be directly deposited the cash back into a Fidelity account like a Roth IRA. And now this is absolutely perfect, as when you're using this card for your business, you roughly need to spend around $300,000 per year to max out your Roth IRA just using the cashback with this card. So you kind of kill two birds with one stone. You have your business running, it funds your retirement for your personal self, which is absolutely amazing. And this is why I recommend the Fidelity card. Now you could definitely get something like a Citi Double Cash, get 2% back, and then buy or put money into a Roth IRA, but this does it seamlessly, so I've been going with a Fidelity card for now. With that being said, 2% is probably the average that you're going to be getting. Don't bother time wasting looking for cards that are going to get you higher than a 2%, because for the most part they have a lot of limits, restrictions, and for the most part you just want to use a 2% back card and waste less time looking for more cards and actually more time focused on driving more revenue and profit for your business. So at the end of the year, you can actually pocket more profit. Now I'm going to talk about when should you not use a 2% card. Now you should definitely use a 2% card wherever you can use a credit card, which is probably most online vendors and dropshipping suppliers. They're gonna accept credit cards. Now, when you are using a 2% credit card, use this as a backup option. Depending on where you dropship in what suppliers you use. Let's say you are retail dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, or some other smaller marketplaces. Then you probably will be using suppliers like Amazon.com, eBay.com, even Walmart.com. Now, this is where these cards come in. The eBay card, for example, this is a very unpopular card and it's not really talked about. This essentially earns around 2.6% back in cash back after you convert the eBay points to cash back. With that being said, there's also other cards like the Amazon Business Prime or the Personal Prime card. I actually have gotten approved for it, but I'm actually just waiting on it via the mail. So if you use Amazon, sign up for their card. If you use eBay, sign up for their card so you can maximize rewards and always never pay any annual fees when you're doing this. Next is there's also a Walmart card that you can also sign up for. Those are big brand suppliers. If you use smaller retailers like Sportsman Guide, Dick's Sporting Goods, Cabela's, they usually have their own credit cards if they're not very small. So I do recommend if you do a large amount of volume with them to get their dedicated card, and make sure there's no annual fee, as if your business goes bad overnight or something happens and you don't regular purchase from their website, the annual fee is going to kill you in the long run if you forget about it. So that's why I don't recommend any annual fees on any credit cards, so you don't have to think about annual fees and you can just get that straight cash back value. With that being said, that wraps up for this video. The main key takeaways is to use a 2% card wherever you can that a credit card is accepted, and then use their dedicated marketplace credit cards like the eBay card, the Amazon card, the Walmart card, or any other smaller retailers. Use their card so you can maximize cash back and get the most amount of profit for your business in the long term. And I'm actually not going to talk about travel cards because I don't do travel and don't recommend anybody to go for travel, especially as it makes you want to actually spend more money. But that's a different video for another day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found some value of maximizing profits and increasing your profits by using the power of credit and credit cards. If you enjoyed this, make sure you smash that like button. And it's been Trevor, and until next time, peace out.